mean, they brought him back for the Royal Rumble, and he got a huge pop to come out, but then they didn't do anything. They just re-signed him to a Legends deal, and he'd just been sitting on the shelf for months and months and months, and they brought him back as a heel.
Yeah.
Kind of dropped the ball with that momentum. They could have sold a lot of merchandise with Diesel and kept him as a Diesel character because people were like, wow, that's good, at least for a couple months, Worked with Tatanka for a few months.
Yeah.
But I think TNA is the ones that they're going right completely down the tubes with. I feel like when I watch TNA now, you can go into a time machine to 1996 and it's like watching Monday Night Nitro.
It is, yeah. It is. For the longest...
Sting versus Flair, but God, I'm so thankful that I could actually watch that match when they actually both could, go an hour and have a great match. And Flair just love Flair to death, but he really needs to stop wrestling.
The only thing I don't like about TNA is this blue and white type of feel for him. The graphics on Impact absolutely suck. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the blue and the white and stuff?
Oh, the WCW Thunder.
Yeah.
Graphics, yeah.
They suck.
Yeah. Like I said, it's WCW all over again.
Yeah. But I think that's what they've been trying to do for the longest time, rehatch WCW, and it's working to some extent, but like every company out there, they're dropping the ball when they should be bouncing it. And that's the unfortunate thing.
Right.
Things fuck up all the time. And then they got Kelly as the Divas champion. That turns me off altogether from watching it, so.
Well, the women's division, I mean, I like what they're doing now, with, Beth Phoenix, who's one hell of a indie wrestler. She showed it when she got, her big break in the WWE. She's a real wrestler. Natty Neidhart is a real wrestler. Those other ones are models that were trained to wrestle for, whatever long. Fit Finley put them in there for a few months. They took a few bumps and give them some gear, and they're wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's so many better women in wrestling in the independents than the WWE.
Yeah.
And even fathom. It's just, if you don't have the complete model look, then you can't be a diva, I guess.
Yeah, and Tommy Dreamer just recently said in a news article that I posted in our news center on our website that he believed that more females needed more in-ring time. The divas needed more in-ring time that WWE weren't giving them, and I think that is completely correct. That's something I've been saying for months. They need more in-ring time. They don't need these 5-minute matches, and then you're not seeing them anymore.
If you were watching Raw for the last few months, you see that it seems like every week they would have those full-on 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, and wow, so they can get all TV time. That's great, but in a lot of those matches, you don't even see any of the other girls getting into the match. It ends within a minute. They go right into the finish from the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 girls in the ring, the rest of them, and then all of a sudden they just have like a little brawl or whatever, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean there are tag matches in the Divas division where divas don't even get tagged in. That is pathetic. Like, what are they?
I mean, I think for TNA, that's one thing they really have got going for them. Right now, they are trying to fix the X division. I think they're succeeding in that. It's very entertaining. And then their women's division, all of them that are in the women's division, they all can wrestle. I mean, they had Lacey, got rid of her, but they all can wrestle. They all are entertaining, and they all have matches.
Yeah,
I think that's 2 of the aspects from TNA that are really, really working.
Yeah, I spoke with Lacey Von Erich here on episode 227, and we talked a little bit in depth about her father and different things like that. And immediately, my conclusion about Lacey was that's Lacey's major problem. She's wanting to make her father so proud and focusing so much on her father's passing that it affects her to a point where she can't perform to the level that she wants to and strives to. And I think that if Lacey puts that behind her, like I told her, she's eventually going to amount to something. But until she's able to do that, then she's not going to amount to much, unfortunately.
Well, I think also that Lacey was rushed. She was one of those people, because of because I think they rushed her in the ring
Yeah.
and just said, okay, you're Lacey Von Erich. Go out there and do something. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like what happened with the Great Khali. The Great Khali is a huge man, and they rushed him through his training. I mean, he did kill somebody before he even went in, you know, when he was in the independents.
That's right.
And with the choke slam, he choke slammed somebody, and then or the power bomb, one or the other, and then the guy was sitting there with a broken neck and didn't realize it and picked him up and did it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I think with Lacey, same type of thing. You know, just rushed her a little bit. I think honestly that given her a little bit more training. You know, I think if she would have gotten signed and stayed with the WWE, I think they did sign her at one time and then they released her.
Yeah.
But I think if you know, she actually went back from ground zero and started training again, I think she could actually be something in the business. But honestly, from even what I've heard for some of her interviews, I don't think her heart's in it.
I saw a YouTube video, speaking of those interviews. She did I guess an in-person type interview where the dude stands in front with the microphone and asks stupid questions. I could do a better interview than that. One of the questions that he asked her was, how did she feel about being released by WWE? In my opinion, if you're not on television, you were never released or never signed to begin with.
Right.
So, I mean, that's completely irrelevant, but the point, you know, she's a great talent, it's just they don't know how to use talent, and that's something else I emphasize on, the fact that they don't know how to use talent until me or you could use talent better than what they're doing.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate thing. Now, your website, is it still getting good traffic? Like, you're still getting a lot of visitors to your website?
Oh yeah, we get a ton of ton of visitors there every day. Was they had the Maryland Indie Awards, and we actually won the website of the year. So I mean, think we're doing a pretty good job with that. It's always updated, except for right now, my webmaster actually, as I say that, has been a little under the weather. But we should be getting it updated this week with the new card for the show coming up in December. So.
Right. Now, apart from, you know, the whole website having success and everything and winning an award, what's the website address for everybody before I continue it? What is it?
acwmd.com.
Yeah, I think we threw that up on our form on our website a while back, said it's acwmd.com, and of course,
Yes.
Jimmy Dream put it best when he was here saying that .com, everyone remembers .com, so that's why we changed the web address, so that's great too. Did you ever notice
Yeah, it used to be acwmaryland.biz, and you know, it just a lot of people were going to acwwrestling.com, and that someone actually else owned that web address. So
yeah. By the way, this interview is going to be available on the official YouTube channel of this radio show. We just recently relaunched it. We got over 265 videos up there now, and this one will be available over at Jonathan Clarke 22. Did you ever notice that Jimmy Dream is on Facebook like every day? Does he like live on there, or like?
yeah, I go up and down the roads with the guy. So the good thing about having iPhones, I think now, you can sit there and surf on the web and bam, post it. You can take a picture and send it right on there, and he does that a lot. I give that to you.
I agree. Like, that's the assumption that I had of this guy. I mean, he's a cyber junkie. Like, he's worse than Al Snow living at WWF New York when that was on the go.
Yeah, but I tell you one thing about Jimmy Dream, though. He is one of the most knowledgeable guys in the business. He has a great mind for the business, and, I mean, his ring work is fantastic. Guys that wrestle him get better. So, I mean, he did learn from Axel Rotten.
He did.
So, I mean,
and I've interviewed Axel Rotten, and I can tell you from experience, Axel Rotten is one guy that if I ever wrote a book about my experiences in this business, one thing that I would indicate in the book when it came to the part about talking about Axel Rotten is he knows what he's talking about.
He does. And I'm glad to be able to actually go up and down the road with him a few times. He's one of those guys that when he talks, you want to listen to. You know, he's seen it all, he's done it all. And I mean, he'll tell you from his own mouth that he's made some mistakes that he wishes he can take back. But you know, if you're an indie guy and you're actually in a show with Axel Rotten, if you have a chance, pull him aside introduce yourself and just say, hey, what can I do to make myself better? And Axel will tell you. He's a really approachable guy.
Yeah. When I spoke to him, he was actually in hopes of getting signed by WWE. I don't ever think that happened for him, though.
No, he had, he had a few, I think, spots in WWE, but I think he's actually going to be at the next Impact show, the pay-per-view, the one that's in Philly. He just said he's going to go there and hang out with the fans, so.
You know,
he wants a lot of people that can still, with ECW. He just wants them to bring their ECW signs, and
it's
that's
beyond
the type of guy Axel is. If you ever go into a Baltimore arena whenever the WWE's in town, Axel will be there hanging out with fans.
I've spoken to a lot of people from virtually every organization, either through email or through phone conversations or by meeting them in person. And out of the hundreds of people that I've met in his business, it's beyond me why nobody has come out on Impact or Raw and called me out yet. And, if Axel's going there, why doesn't he call me out or something? I'm waiting for somebody to call me out, but I don't ever think I'll ever wrestle, so that's something that you will not be looking to see anytime soon. I've called this one a piece of shit, I've called that one a piece of shit, and yet nobody ever calls me out, so must be doing something right. Now, it's been about 6 months since I spoke to you last. Anything else going on with you that you want the listeners to know about? You still got your TV deal, you got your website, still having tremendous success. Anything else?
Well, we're still in Anne Arundel public access. There's a lot of guys out there that says, "Oh, we got a TV deal, but hey, we're not paying for it." But it's the #1 rated show on the station, but it is public access. But hey, it's advertisement for our company and our product.
Yeah.
A couple things with me. I just recently moved up to Pennsylvania in the Pittsburgh area, and we're going to be running up here starting in March. We're not going to stop running down in Maryland, so our Maryland fans don't have anything to worry about it, but we're going to bring our product up here, and then hopefully sometime in 2012 we're also going to run maybe a few shows in Delaware as well, but just kind of spread out, serves out. We've had a lot of good success in Maryland, and we're looking to try to have that success in other markets as well.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for free tickets to come to one of your shows. I've been to lots of independent shows, and the ACW is something that I'd like to be flown in for. I'll do ring announce.